Hello, my friends, and welcome back. We're continuing Cemetery Mary, because I'm kind of loving this. What did we do last? Just as a little catch-up, because it's been, it's been a minute. My brains aren't the goodest for memory. Alright, good enough. I'll figure it out. I hope you have your snacks, your hot drink. I got my coffee. I got cinnamon swirl sliced loaf cake. We're vibing. Let's go. It's been a few days. I haven't heard a lot from Twyla, but I guess that's expected. Yeah, she does just kind of ghost us for a couple days. Enlightenment? Normal people scare bees. I like that. I actually like the design on that one. Cold Point. She doesn't really update me on our situation, but I guess that's alright. She seems to have everything under control, I guess. She only really calls me up when she needs me for things. Other times we just happen to run into each other, but I'm okay with that. Really, I am. This is a really big thing after all, and it is kind of her thing more than it is mine. Like, I'm kind of just the sidekick in all this. I know it's really important, not just to her, so I try not to add more stress on her shoulders. Alright, my searing illiteracy. Even if I know I get on her nerves sometimes, I wish these weren't so expensive. I mean, I know I'm not poor, but with these prices I will be. Was that my phone? It is. It's a text from Twyla. Does she need me for something? It's a good thing I'm already out, if that's the case. Hey Mary, you there? Thanks for your help a few days ago. It actually helped me a lot. I'm very appreciative. I forgot to give her a more flat voice. Harumph. You did a terrific job. Terrific job. You really think so? I'm so happy to hear that. Even if I don't see how I really helped that much, I have a question for you. Although it's kind of last minute. Do you want to come over for dinner tonight? Whoa, really? I mean, sure, I guess so, but why do you ask? It's kind of sudden after all. Yeah, I know. It's kind of like a family dinner thing. I wasn't going to invite you, but then my uncle suggested I do so. Since you've been helping me out so much, he thought it would be the polite thing to do. And he's right. That's why I'm inviting you now. You don't have to say yes, but again, it was just the polite thing to do. Well, yeah, I can come. It sounds really nice. Thanks for inviting me. So you're coming then? Alright. I can have my driver pick you up. Send me your address, and I'll forward it to him. You can expect him around 6-ish. Oh, that won't be necessary. I'm just gonna be at the cemetery again. Really? Yeah? It's just easiest. Whatever. Just make sure you're ready. When the time came to be, I was waiting at the cemetery like I said I would be. I recognized the car and license plate from the last time we drove together and got in. The chauffeur was the same too. He didn't say a word to me, and I didn't say a word to him. It was a very quiet drive as we made our way to Twyla's house. Fancy pantsy. There's 2 cars now. Upon arriving there, it had already turned dark. I noticed that the fountain in front of her house had been lit up. It cast a very elegant glow all around. I also noticed there was quite a few cars in the driveway, or parking area. I don't really know how to describe it. It was large and made of bricks. and there were lots of cars there. That made me kind of nervous. I know she said it was a family dinner, but this seemed like a lot of people. Would I really be okay being here? It already seemed like I didn't belong. I got out of the car and it drove off as soon as I closed the door behind me. I guess I had no option to turn back now. I climbed up the stairs and upon making it to the top, rang the doorbell. Without even being inside, I could hear all the commotion. Oh my gosh. Without even being inside, I could hear all the commotion going on within. Without even hearing her come to the door, she opened it suddenly. And quite honestly, I didn't expect to see her dressed like that. Oh. Well, hi, friend. Whoa. Oh, you made it after all. I was beginning to think you canceled on me. Was there a lot of traffic? Or was my driver late getting you? No, but you're dressed a lot more fancy than I anticipated. Here, come inside. I don't want to let bugs in by keeping the door open. She is swanked up. But then here's this normal, run-of-the-mill Joe-ass suit. And she got all that going on. Are those... What is this wings? What's going on with these? What's up? Does she have like a scarf thing going on? Or like a draped... I don't know. As I stepped inside, there were many people, all talking and chatting. Some had glasses of whatever alcohol it was. Some had little plates with them. But all of them were dressed extremely formally. Like party formal. The type of stuff you wear to weddings or extravagant sweet 16s. Twyla, this is so embarrassing. You didn't tell me people were going to be dressed like this. Or that there was going to be so many of them. I feel so embarrassed. Why didn't you tell me? I'd have at least dressed up more. Oh, don't be dramatic, you're fine. You dress semi-formally all the time anyway. I have to go make sure dinner is running smoothly, but you can do what you want until then. Just as long as you're not snooping through my things or anything. Wait, I can't just stay with you? You're the only one I know here, Twy. No offense, but you'll just get in my way. You'll be fine, though. See you during dinner. Twyla left shortly after that, leaving me to wonder why I agreed to come in the first place. When she said family dinner, I guess I imagined something much different. A quaint evening with some extended family and a nice meal. This was definitely some sort of party that she was throwing. I don't know how many people... how many of these people were actually quote-unquote family, but... I think it was more than obvious that I wasn't. I felt like everyone was staring at me. It brought me back bad memories of mine. I tried to find some place where I could sit and not bother anyone until dinner was ready. Eventually, I found the couch... I'm driving myself nuts. I wish I could read. Gosh. So, like, not to derail things here, but reading and talking at the same time is exceptionally difficult for my little brain, and I keep getting derailed. There's a non-zero chance I have dyslexia. Deep breath. Eventually I found the couch in the living room. Okay. I was not ready to read it. Eventually I found the couch in the living room was surprisingly empty and took a seat. I tried to look as normal and small as possible. I already didn't feel welcome here. I didn't want to take up more room than necessary. Aw, poor Mary. I tried to stay on my phone for the most part, but it felt rude to be doing so. Even though I wasn't talking to anyone anyway. It just felt inconsiderate to be on my phone. Putting it down didn't really help how I felt, though. Although I didn't join into any conversation, I did hear one that caught my attention. Don't give me that look, you know this place. The bookstore on 4th, run by that old guy? Oh, that one. Bookstore on 4th? That was the bookstore Twyla and I went to. What happened with that all anyways? Fucking newspaper? You can watch it on TV? Nah, I prefer to sit and read it with some coffee. Anyway, like I was saying, he confirmed his death the other day. Oh, shit. Really? Wasn't he brought to the hospital? Hell if I know. The article didn't say. All it said was he was found with multiple stab wounds, bleeding out on the floor in his own store. I don't even think they found him until morning, but they estimated he died around closing time. I didn't hear about a hospital, but it seems he's dead now regardless. I felt heartbroken. It was the bookstore owner. Twy made me distract. I didn't even hear of his death. How long ago was it? Did I miss it? Did they have a funeral already? He was so nice to me though. But his store was so empty. Was he all alone in the end? Is this my fault? Does death follow me now? Who's going to be the next to die? Deep in my own thought, I almost tuned out. I almost tuned out of that conversation. But then I heard another thing that made me snap back into it. Is he even fucking here at all? I haven't seen him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't. Not that he does anything anymore anyway. Denson was always pathetic. Maybe now he's finally realizing that. Denson? That's Twyla's uncle, right? You sure want to be saying that so loud? You sure you want to be saying that so loud? What if he is here and hears you? Does it matter? Not like we'll get kicked out or anything. I guess that's true. I thought it was pretty cruel of them to be talking about him like that. I know I don't know him, really, but I can't help but feel bad for him. They're talking so cruelly about him, and in his own house. I hoped he wasn't there. I hoped he wasn't here, and if he was, I hope he didn't hear anything. I can't imagine hearing someone talk about me like that in my own home. The thought was interrupted. Harumph. Oh? Is dinner ready? People around me started to leave into the next room. The thought of having to sit at a dinner table with them made me feel nervous. I thought about just staying in here instead, but in the end, I got up and followed them into the dining room. Upon entering, it felt very different than the rest of the house. Twyla's house was classy but colorful, but this room was drenched in white. The only thing to offset it was the brown, long dinner table in the center. And what a long table it was. It felt like the kind you saw in movies. People began to sit. Hastily, I looked for Twyla. On the end of the table, I noticed that Denson was here after all, and he took a seat. I had hoped those talking bad about him weren't near. On the other end, I caught sight of Twyla, beginning to pull her chair out. She saw me. I think she must have sensed how nervous I was because she gestured me over to her. Thank goodness. I made my way over there as quickly, but also as politely as I could. I was planning on taking the seat next to her, but another man got there before I did and sat down, so I just took the one next to him. I was still in talking distance of Twyla, so I was okay with it. But people began to talk as well. People began to talk as well people do, and and I started to tune out of their conversations again. That is, until I was brought into the conversation. She's a bit freaky looking, isn't she? Ain't she? You get used to it. Oh, who are... Oh, who, me? Yeah, look at me a sec. I hate this guy already. Can't look in those eyes too long. It'll freak me out. Oh, yeah. I get that. I would get that a lot. You ever thought about auditioning for a horror movie? I bet they'd do something great with a face like that. She'd fill in well to one. After all, she can talk to ghosts. Oh, is that so? Oh, yeah, kinda. I've only done it a few times, but... yeah. Really? Show me then. Oh, I can't. You should show him. I think it'd be a neat party trick. I would, but it only really works when I'm sleeping, it seems like. Oh, sure it does. Come on, Mary. Show them what you can do. At this point, people sitting across from us seemed pretty interested, too. I don't... Come on, not even for me? A poor man with a late mother? You wouldn't even give him the chance to speak with her again? It's not that I don't want to, it's just... I've seen you do it before. Surely it's if you push yourself a little harder... I hate this crowd. I really do. Surely if you push yourself a little harder, you can do it right now. I wasn't sure what to do. Everyone was looking at me. I didn't want to embarrass Twyla or myself, but if I pretended to do it, it'll just embarrass myself further. They'll just think I'm a fake. I don't know what to do, but I have to decide soon. Be honest and refuse. I'm sorry, I really can't. There's certain conditions I need met, and this isn't really a place I can do it. Sure. First it was the blue-haired guy, now it's the red-haired chick. Blue-haired guy. Jeez, Twy, you sure seem to attract a lot of useless people, don't you? Perhaps I do. Is that why you're here sitting next to me, then? Youch! Got me there. People who were looking at me before now turned back to their earlier conversations, but they gave me a bit of a snicker before they did so. I could tell they probably thought I was some crazy girl or something. I wish I could have been a ghost myself right then. Yeah, this crowd, they're bad people. Bad people. Dinner was delicious, but it was hard to enjoy it while I was trying to swallow my embarrassment at the same time. At least I didn't have to talk to anyone during it. After what felt like forever, the party finally ended, and I asked Twyla if she could call her driver for me, or at the very least, where the closest bus stop was. I'd hoped I hadn't missed my bus back home. Twyla did so, but as I was about to leave, she told me, "Don't embarrass me like that again," and shut the door behind me. I felt like dying. At the very, very least, I was able to get home safe. I don't know if she just comes from like a toxic family background and that's why she's crap. But like, man, that was icky. That was all kinds of icky. Hi again. You were late again. Another busy day. Yeah. I went to a friend's for dinner. How did that go? It could have been better. I feel like I embarrassed myself. Yeah. It's something that happens to all of us. I wish I could eat dinner with my parents again. One day soon. They are safe, right? Not just alive, but they're fed and warm? I believe so. What's that mean? Don't concern yourself with it. This again. Just as long as I can see them safe again. The day is approaching. And I will see you. You will. Good night, Mary. Yeah, But Dad, how come the person that kidnapped our parents and is holding them hostage is nicer to us than our quote-unquote friends or quote-unquote family? Harumph. It's been a few days since then. Not more than the coffee yet. Coffee. I think Twyla's been doing well in the investigation. At the very least, when I message her about it, she tells me it's fine. Since Twyla hasn't been the one initiating our conversations, I've been trying to, but it's usually only a few short messages and the conversation don't really go further than that. I'm sure she's just busy though, and I know that if she needs me, she'll call me. So I just wait until she needs me. But I've talked enough about that already. I had a nice day by myself, actually. Sometimes it's nice to just return to the cemetery for a normal day after so much chaos. I made sure I put at least one flower on every grave today, though I haven't talked to any of them. I had considered doing it, but like others tell me, it's perhaps not a good idea to fall asleep in public places, especially if there is a killer on the loose, so I decided I wouldn't do that today. See, here's the thing though. If you can just straight up visit ghosts casually, well, I don't know about casually. Falling asleep on the grave is how she can visit them in their space. And her happy place is the cemetery, and she likes it to give flowers and her time to the people there. Why not actually pay actual visits more? Like try and befriend the groundskeeper, or ask someone to spend time with her while she naps in the cemetery and just casually visit the ghosts. I feel like that feels like a thing that's she would do, or up her alley, or not far off. I guess, if there is supposedly a killer around or some such. But that's not what happened, though. I truthfully didn't mean to fall asleep. I didn't. When I sat back against the mausoleum we have, after being outside on my feet all day, well, I was just so tired. I didn't even realize I fell asleep until I woke up to the sound of rain. I was surprised. I was surprised to not have had any strange dreams this time, but there was a big problem. Only the roof trim of the mausoleum was keeping me safe from the rain, and it was pouring. And it was worse even still. It was night. The only light I could see was from the street lamps. The only light I could see was from the street lamps at the outside of the cemetery. Oh dear. How could I have slept so long? Well, I couldn't stay hiding under here all night. I took a big breath and ran across the cemetery to the street. Luckily, the gate wasn't locked. Again, I was surprised but thankful, as it meant I would not. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Okay. Again, I was surprised but thankful, as it meant I would not have to find some other way out. Once I was out on the sidewalk, I noticed the streetlights were the only lights on. Everything else seemed closed. How late was it? I didn't want to pull the phone out in the rain and check, but by any means I had most definitely missed the last bus back home. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I had to find shelter first. I ran through the rain trying to find anything that was open. It wasn't long before I felt my shoes filling with water. I'd get a cold out here too long, and the rain showed no signs of letting up. But I know there just had to be anything open. And eventually, I made it somewhere. It was the movie theater. Thank goodness. Imagine the Queen of the Galaxy. Polyade. If you're a customer, something you... Cashiers. I mean, all the movies look pretty lit. I rushed myself inside and took a seat beside the posters, waiting to dry off and taking my phone out. Just I had suspected, it was pretty late. And knowing the usual times of the cinema, I could tell it wasn't going to be open much longer. What do I do? Even though I wasn't sure how he could help me right now, I had to at least try calling Croven. Why isn't he picking up? Mary? Oh, you picked up, thank goodness. I was starting to get worried. I'm having a bit of a problem right now. What is it? Well, you see, I kind of fell asleep in the cemetery, and I only woke up a few minutes ago, and it's raining really bad right now, and I missed the bus, so I don't know. I was hoping maybe you could help me out somehow? No can do, Mary Moo. Didn't I tell you? Tell me what? Mary, I'm like not even home right now. I'm not even close. Huh? Where are you then? I'm like out of the fucking city right now, Mary. I had these plans with these friends. It doesn't matter. I swear I told you. Well, I don't remember. Look, bottom line is there's no way I can help you from here. What am I supposed to do then? Fuck, Mary, I don't know. I heard the frustrated sigh through the phone. I couldn't see it, but I could tell he was pinching the bridge of his nose. Where are you right now? I'm at the movie theater, but I think it closes soon. Alright. Well, do you have anyone else you could call up? Maybe stay with them tonight? I mean, I guess so. Awesome, great. Sounds good then. I don't... we could probably call Twyla and get a chauffeur out here. We could probably call, something Tetra. Reginald. Alright. Look, Mars, I really gotta go, okay? Call up one of your other friends. I'm sure one of them will come get you. Alright, I heard the click Croven hanging up the phone. Call up one of my other friends? Well, there's only two of those. Who should I go with? Mystery number. Alright, this feels like a save. Save. I think staying the night with Reginald doesn't sound like a bad idea. I am very curious what calling the mystery number would do. Attempted calling the mystery number. No one picked up. But I did receive a text immediately after. Why did you call me? I don't know. I'm stuck. Stuck. Where? I missed my bus home and it's pouring outside. I'm supposed to call one of my friends, but I'm not sure who to go with. I feel bad waking either of them up. I see. Can you choose for me? Unfortunately, I do not know your friends, so I can't. But I think you can make that decision on your own. I guess I'll have to. Good luck. Alright, you know, it was worth a try. It seems weird. I thought we were going to ask them for a ride. Which is weird. It's like, well, that would have been an interesting one if we actually did ask them for a ride. Like, hey, you kidnapped my parents and you keep saying we're going to see them soon. I'm going to up Creek and kind of need a ride. Could we, maybe I'll give you my address and we speed this up? I mean, that is... I don't know, I feel like that's like a very... I don't know how to phrase what I'm trying to say. But if you're like an anxious person that you keep getting threatened you're going to be kidnapped, I feel like it doesn't seem that far off to say, look, I'm sick of waiting. I hate waiting. Waiting is the worst thing in this world. I will jump into traffic before I have to wait. I can tell you where I am right now and you just meet me here. We get it over with. Anyway. I molded over. And I'm thinking I want... Oh. Reginald. Tried Reginald's number. There's no answer. I tried again just in case, but there's still no answer. Alright, fate has spoken. Called Twyla, heard the phone ring a few times, and then she picked up. She sounded angry, although she didn't sound like she was asleep before I called her. Mary? What are you calling me for? Don't you know what time it is? Yeah, I know. That's kind of my problem. It's a long story, kinda, but I missed my bus home and I need a place to stay tonight. I was hoping maybe... Are you serious? Yeah. Fine. But you owe me. Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. I'm, in a movie theater? Let me guess, by the cemetery? Yeah, how do you know? I'll be there soon. Okay. Thank you again. She drove. Twyla came to pick me up herself this time. By that I mean she was driving the car this time rather than to have someone drive her. She was fully dressed, but I couldn't tell if she'd changed out of pajamas just to pick me up. She seemed a bit annoyed picking me up, so I made sure to thank her again. The drive to her house was silent except for the rain. Luckily, there wasn't really anybody else on the roads tonight, and we got to her house safely. Stepping inside the house, it felt a lot more calm. Like the first time I visited. I definitely preferred this to the liveliness of the party a few days ago. Although I must admit, when there's hardly anyone here, it does feel empty. Twyla's home had less doors and more archways. In passing one, I noticed the TV on. Was her uncle in there? Is everyone up so late? I followed Twyla upstairs into her bedroom. It was my first time seeing it, and it was a bit different than I expected. A lot more cluttered than I thought it would be, I guess. Not overly cluttered, but... Twyla never really struck me as the type to collect clutter, but you learn something new every day. Well, here's my room. You'll be sleeping here with me, but I actually have to head back out. Really? In this weather? Why? It's a personal matter. I don't want to talk about it. Oh, I see. Okay then. You can borrow some of my pajamas in the dresser and use the shower if you like, and eat from the kitchen, but again, I'm trusting you not to look through my things. Oh, yeah, of course, I'd never. Good. I'll be back soon. And then she left back downstairs again, leaving me there alone. I wasn't sure how long it'd be until she'd be back. I'd feel weird sleeping in her room without her here. What should I do? I don't know, look at her books. You can always tell a lot about a person by their books. Twyla said not to snoop through her things, but surely the stuff out in the open didn't count. She had a few books splayed out, so I decided to give them a look. Love at First Death, a tragic true story by Rhea Singer. Signed for Twyla. Hell yeah, that's brag-worthy right there. St. Grove, investigating the town that disappeared overnight. A memoir by Detective Reynold Valera. Wasn't the reading materials It wasn't the reading material I was used to seeing Twyla with, or even expecting to see in her room at all. But it's interesting too. Maybe she's trying to branch out and try new things. I wish I could be more like that. Maybe I'll try to branch out more too. That's valid. Let's go with... See, I'm worried we're gonna get, like, surprised in the shower. I wanna... let's see. Maybe I shouldn't just yet. I don't want to take a shower until I'm ready to get changed. I'd feel weird walking around Twyla's house in pajamas. You know what? That's fair. Kitchen! I decided to look in the kitchen. She said I was allowed to, after all. Headed back downstairs and into the kitchen. It was dark, and I wasn't sure where the light switch was. Was Twyla's dinner party prepared all in here? It seemed like a small kitchen compared to the amount of guests that were here for it. Was dinner really made here? Probably best not to question it. If I know anything, it's that Twyla works in mysterious ways. I wondered what she had in here, though. I've never really seen Twyla eat, aside from the dinner party a few days ago. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. I opened Twyla's refrigerator, and to my surprise, there wasn't much at all. Even with that giant party they had? There were no leftovers? Or did they eat them all already? Still, there's a lot of empty space. There was a bowl of cherries, some gallons and bottles of water, and leftover pizza box? Huh. I checked the freezer too, out of curiosity. There were 2 slabs of meat I couldn't quite recognize and a tub of vanilla ice cream. Well, if anything, I don't think there's anything I wanted in here. I closed the fridge and looked in the pantry, but again, there wasn't a lot. There wasn't much else in here. I thought about heading back upstairs, but I could hear the living room TV playing from the next room, and it was playing a familiar voice. I know that game show. Hell yeah! You ever are over at someone's house and just end up watching TV with their parents? It's happened a couple times in my life, and it's always such an interesting experience. I entered the living room and made my way to the other side of the couch from where Denzin had been sitting. I didn't really say hello as I entered, just kind of plopped myself on the other side of the couch from where he was. He already knew I was here, and it felt kind of awkward to be saying hello so late in my stay. This is Peril, right? Yes. I used to watch this game show all the time with my dad. I was never really good at it, but Dad was. I think he could have won it if he got on it. That's so... Yeah! Do you think you'd be good at it? Could be. I'm not confident I'd come out on top, though. I don't say that. I think you could win. You could win, probably. I mean, you have such a nice house. Surely you have to be smart and a hard worker to afford it. Sorry, was that rude? You have a point, I suppose. I don't really feel working hard equates to knowing the most popular doll line 9 years ago, or knowing how fast a horse is. Yeah, I guess that's true. Our small talk pretty much ended there, and we continued to watch the show in silence, only piping up to guess an answer or two. It was a bit strange, but nice too. It's in its own weird way. Like a childhood sleepover. Eventually I heard Twyla come back home again. She walked right past us and straight upstairs. I heard her open the door to her room, stop, and then walk back downstairs. And then she joined us in the living room. What are you watching? Peril! You like that show? No offense, but I didn't really take that as something someone like you would enjoy. Reading. Alright, and the next subject is graveyards for 300. Hey, you should be good at this one. Oh, maybe. A broken column-shaped headstone is used to represent what? Broken column-shaped headstone. Well, which is it, Mary? Oh, I think that's a life cut short, death from foul play, death from pressure. Ah, God. A column. left broken. I feel like you don't want to immortalize either of the last two, you know? I feel like you only immortalize the first one. Broken columns represented life that ended early. That's why it's broken. Because you weren't able to reach the old age like how the column was broken before it got to the top. At least, that's what I've heard. The contestant answering said something similar to what I said. That is correct! Huh. Nice job. Thanks, I think. Alright, let's head to bed now then. I don't want you sleeping in too long tomorrow morning. Oh, okay. Good night. Good night, Denzin. Good night, girls. I don't know if Denzin's chill or not. I followed Twyla upstairs and into her room again. She handed me some of her spare pajamas. I took her up on her offer to use her shower and headed to the bathroom before I got changed. Her bathroom was really clean. Cleaner than mine, anyways. She didn't even have any toothbrushes or clutter on the sink. Maybe there was another bathroom used more often? Taking showers in someone else's house is always weird. But the shampoo had a really nice smell to it. Strangely enough, I don't recall smelling this on Twyla ever. Not that she smelled dirty or anything. Twyla always had a cleanliness to her, but this shampoo doesn't seem to match hers. I got changed. I got changed into Twyla's pajamas. They'll fit pretty comfortably, though I expected that since we are two small girls. Then I returned to Twy's room. The lights were already off, but did skip past something. But she was checking. But she was clicking away on her laptop. I noticed on the floor, she left a blanket and a pillow for me. I didn't really want to just sleep on her rug, but I wasn't going to argue with her hospitality. I called into it and tried to get comfortable. What are you typing? Nothing. Are you messaging someone? No. Does it have to do with the investigation? That's none of your business? That's none of your business? Oh. But I'm helping you, aren't I? Yes, and I appreciate it. But there's parts of it I need to do on my own. Why does it have to be a secret? Wouldn't I be able to help you more if I knew? No. Like I said, I appreciate your help, but I don't want you getting in the way. What if I knew something? Something that could help? Something that could point us in the right direction? I already have my direction. I just need proof. You're certain that Reginald really did it? Who? Reginald? The guy you told me to stay away from? Yeah, I know who he is. I'm absolutely positive it was him. How can you be so sure of that? I don't understand how you can be so decisive over it, especially when you don't have any proof. I'll get it. And then you'll know why you shouldn't doubt me. Alright then. Twyla, do you want to be a detective? Do you want to be a detective? Is that why you're doing this? Are you working so hard for it? Not necessarily. I just want my city to be clean. Would you want to be a police officer or something then? Oh god, no. Even if the police weren't morons, I still wouldn't want to be part of them. Are you like a vigilante then? What's with all those stupid questions? Sorry. What will we do after we catch him then? What do you mean? We'll hand him over to the police. So that's when the police step in? Yeah, they're the ones who need to arrest him after all. We just take care of it until that point. I see. And then? And then what? And then what about after that? What do you mean? There's nothing after that. It'll be done. That's it? There's nothing else you want to solve? No. You say that if it's common to chase down murderers. Well, no, I mean, I don't know. Our friendship is pretty built on solving mysteries, so... What? We aren't friends. We're not? No. I mean, if you want to refer to me as being your friend, that's fine. But it's important you know I don't see you that way at all. I don't plan on taking you with me anymore once this is over. You don't? Like, maybe if I needed you for something, but otherwise, there's no point in continuing this alliance. What? You're not upset by that, right? I thought I made it pretty clear I was just being polite to you. No, I'm just really tired. I think I'll sleep now. Good night. Man, that's sad. Not unexpected, but sad. I had a hard time sleeping after that. It didn't help that I was stuck on our floor either. I did eventually get to sleep. But I didn't feel any better about it in the morning. When I woke up, Twyla was awake too. I don't know if she even slept. She seemed to be in the same position she was when I went to sleep. I guess she's something of a night owl. She didn't say anything to me as I grabbed my own clothes and left. She didn't say anything to me as I grabbed my own clothes and left to the bathroom to change. I left her pajamas by the sink and headed back downstairs. Poor Mary. I left without even saying good morning or stopping for breakfast, and I decided I'd walk my way to the bus stop or something. Even though Twyla doesn't think of me as a friend, I'd like to still think of her as one. I'd like to, but it's been a few days since I slept over at Twyla's house. Again, I didn't get many texts from her. After our last conversation, though, I'm not too sure if I want to. I'm probably just being too sensitive, though. Despite this, I actually haven't been too lonely, especially this morning. Croven and I planned to stop and get breakfast together today. I was glad. Especially after my last encounter with Twy. It was a nice little pick-me-up. It helped remind me that not everyone sees me like she does. We went to Planet Dollars. Croven really likes their coffee, but I can't stand coffee. I did get something, though. We stood outside eating our food by the front window. I think we were going to walk around a bit, look in some stores maybe, but we got distracted in conversation. Oh, that Croven. And so then I'm like, what the fuck? You can't just say you're getting food and then not ask us if we want any. And then he starts acting like a dumbass because, well, you didn't tell me you wanted anything. Like, dude, if you say you're getting pizza, we're all fucking assuming you mean for the group. But no, this bitch bought 2 slices of pizza for himself. Like, I'm not fucking crazy, right? That was fucking stupid, right? Yeah, I can see that being frustrating. If you want, the 2 of us could get pizza tonight instead. Maybe. I don't know, though. No offense, Mars, but don't you think you ought to lay off some of the junk food? I mean, you're eating a donut for breakfast. Oh. Where did this come from? If anything, you eat way more junk food than me, and I'm not the one who bought 2 cases of soda and birthday cake flavored ice cream during our last grocery run. Well, you got me there. Shit, hold on. I'm gonna use the bathroom before we go. Be right back. I'll be here. I watched Croven crinkle his now empty plastic cup in his hands and toss it in the garbage. I could hear the chatter of people inside for a brief second. For the brief second, the door was open as he entered. Oh my god. Illiteracy! I stood there, potentially waiting for his return. I was about to take my phone out when I felt someone grab my arm. Huh? Oh my goodness. It's just you. What are you doing here? Mary, what the fuck? Haven't you been getting my texts? No, sorry, I haven't been checking my phone. I need you for something. Right now? Yeah, I have someone I want you to try talking to. Just like you did at the cemetery. Can it wait? I'm kind of in the middle. Oh, fuck you. Oh no. Croven marched right up to us, and I stood in front of Twyla to prevent him getting too close. Leave my fucking friends alone, goddammit. Nice to see you again, Croven. Keep my name out of your fucking mouth, you fucking bitch. Crow, please. I tried to shush him. People in the street were beginning to turn their heads our way. I felt my hands begin to shake the more I tried to quiet him down. Sorry, I'd let you hurl insults at me more, but Mary and I have a job to do. Come on, let's go. Wait. Don't you dare fucking go with her. I can't believe I even have to be arguing this right now. Are you fucking serious? Even after... I'm just going to cut some of the swearing just a little bit, because it's a little bit much. Even after I told you about the scum that she is. Let's not waste time, Mary. Unless, of course, you want more people to die. You agreed to help me when I needed it, and now I need it. So, hey, you shut your mouth. Crow, I'm sorry, I have to. You have to? It's really important, and I need to help her. Please try to understand. It's something that affects... Damn right it affects me. You know what? Fuck it. I'm done. Just fuck off, Mary. Just fuck off. Don't even bother coming home tonight. I warned you about her and you just, what, ignore it? Am I a joke to you? If you'd rather spend time with her than listen to one person that actually cares about you, then I don't give a shit what happens to you. Don't fucking talk to me again. Man, fuck Croven. He's not really even giving reasons. He's not really talking to us. I don't know. Just... people just leading with outbursts. Ugh. I tried to reach out to Croven, tears in my eyes, but he slapped my hand away. Without another word, he stormed off, leaving just Twyla and I there. Twyla was unaffected, but I couldn't hold back my tears. I tried to hold in the sniffles, but eventually I began wailing. Like a child who had just realized that they lost their mom in the supermarket, I couldn't stop. I buried my face in my hands, hunched over crying in the middle of the sidewalk. My throat burned with misery, and the more I tried to calm myself, the sadder I became. I think I felt my heart break. Twyla waited beside me, and from the corner of my eye I can see she was scrolling through her phone, waiting for my breakdown to be done. I felt like I would never stop. I was only able to begin to calm down when I felt a headache beginning to form, as if the physical pain was just enough to distract me from the emotional pain I felt. And as all the cries and as all cries do, it began to settle down even when it felt like it would last for an eternity. I rubbed my eyes and then took deep breaths, and as I silently prayed that once we caught the butcher, Croven would be able to forgive me. "Can we go now?" she asked, annoyance prominent in her tone. "Yes, let's go." This isn't good. We're illegally homeless now, aren't we? I answered and followed her lead. I wiped my eyes in stray tears as I followed her down the sidewalk. She stopped in front of a car and began to take her keys out. "No driver today? Are we driving somewhere? The cemetery isn't far from here. I thought you needed me to talk to a ghost, right?" "We are. Just get in the car." I was confused, but I got it anyway. The worst Twy ever done was make me sneak into places, so she started up the car. She started up the car and we started driving. We passed both my old house and cemetery on the way to wherever we were going. Before I knew it, the buildings turned into trees and we were driving through a dirt path in a wooded area. The way the sunlight filtered through the trees made it look very scenic. And it reminded me of the ride to and from the cabin. "Hey, Twy. Can I ask you something?" "Alright. What's the relationship between you and Croven?" "When he found out I knew you, he became really mad. And just like back there. I never brought him up to you because I don't know how you'd feel, but why does he hate you so much?" It's nothing really. He and I just have different beliefs, that's all. If you ask me, he's just too childish. I think you should really learn to be mature. Finally grow up and face the real world." "What do you mean by that? And how do you two know each other? Because, I had never even heard him mention you before. And I've known Croman almost my whole life." "Were you, friends with the falling out? How long have you known him?" "It's not important. He doesn't like me and I don't like him. That's all there is to it." I was confused. But before I could ask any more questions, I felt the car begin to slow. It seemed as though we had arrived at our destination. Twyla had pulled up to a lake. There was nothing around but trees and dirt. Although it was really pretty here, this was the last place I expected to drive to. I'm confused. "What are we doing here?" "I need you to try and sleep here." "Here? I thought you wanted me to talk to a ghost." "I do. Not long ago, a woman was declared missing, but they found some of her stuff around here. That means she's possibly dead. And if she is, then you might be able to contact her spirit, if her body is still here." But this area is so open, and so far it's only worked for me when I was directly above someone's grave. Please, Mary, I need you to try it. If she was a victim of the killer, hell, even just a killer, then she could tell us who it was. Did I read that right? I wasn't too sure about this. I knew that Twyla's intentions were good, but would this really work? It felt like a bit of a stretch, and I left Croven for this too. But we're here now. I guess the least I can do is try. Alright, I guess. Just lie down. I guess I'll just lie down here. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to fall asleep in such a short notice like this. I brought along some lullabies just for this occasion. I watched Twyla open her car door and mess around with the dashboard, and I heard soft music beginning to play from the car. It was peaceful. And listening to it in the sunlight with the beautiful scenery around, it was very nice. And although the ground was bumpy and I wasn't sure if I would even be able to, I eventually managed to fall into a deep, deep sleep. When I opened my eyes again, everything still felt dark. I was unsure if it even worked, but I was aware I was in the dream, so surely that meant it did. But why was it so dark? I felt as though I could hardly see. I tried to feel my surroundings, but there's nothing around me. And when I moved my arm, they felt heavy. I tried to walk around, maybe find some light, and my legs were heavy too, as if there was great pressure all around me. Eventually my eyes began to adjust, you could say, to the little light there was down here. I noticed why it felt so weird. Under the water! I like the shot. Les gasp! I was under the water? It seemed like by any means I didn't feel the water, but I definitely felt the pressure. Maybe she's here then. Only one way to find out. Hello? I called out into the darkness. There was no answer. The more I walked, the more uneasy I felt. I kept calling out for whoever might be around to talk to me. Hello? Please, don't be scared. I want to talk, that's all. Hello? Anybody? Twyla? Huh. Is there even anybody here? I want to wake up now. Please, can I wake up? Please? If there's nothing here, I don't want to stay. Please let me wake up. Please. Oh, spooky. Huh? Hey, let go. That hurts. Oh. Ow. Stop it, let me go. Stop. Something had grabbed me. Quite harshly. I tried to shake it off, but I felt I was powerless doing so. It was so dark I couldn't see it, but its grip remained. How? It was hard to explain, but it hurt. The sensation. It felt like I was burning. It was burning itself into my skin. Before I knew it, I felt more hands on me. Stop it, let me go. Let me go. It was then that I was able to get a good look at its face. All their faces. Now, I'm not usually someone to be... I'm not usually too squeamish. I had pet tarantula, and I had never blinked at the gore effects in horror movies. I'm not someone easily grossed out, but this... I felt like I could puke. It was revolting. Their faces, their poor faces. What happened to them? Where did your eye go? Where's your jaw? Please don't look at me like that. I'm not the one who did it. Please stop. You're dragging me down. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want to end up like you. All of their hands on me, pulling me down. I couldn't fight against them. But boy, did I struggle. I looked up to where that faint light stayed, shining upon me in the waves. The water I couldn't feel before was now filling my lungs. There was nothing I could do. Please, I can't. I don't want to. Just let me leave. Please. I woke up dripping soaking in lake water. I looked around me. It was still daylight outside. The car was still here. Twyla was inside in the driver's seat. She seemed to be screaming at someone on the phone, but she hung up shortly, and then she noticed me awake outside. She got out of the car, and I stood up to meet her. Oh good, you're awake. Sorry, I had to take a phone call and didn't want to wake you. When did you get all wet? Twyla, I can't do this anymore, Twy. Huh? I'm sorry, I can't do this. The fuck do you mean? I can't help you with the investigation anymore. It's too much for me. I sneak into places, I lie to people. It's stressing me out, and now I just thinking about it made me feel weak in my legs. I had to hold myself back from crying, thinking about what could have happened if I didn't wake up right then. Well, what about just now? What did they say? Mary, come on. Don't fucking start with the waterworks again. Just tell me what the fuck they said. Twy, please, I paused. What did she just say? I didn't mishear it. She said they. What did they say? She only told me there was a woman here, and she didn't even know for sure she was dead. The only reason Twyla would have said they is if... Oh God. No. I couldn't let her know. I had to keep pretending, despite the pit in my stomach. Is she a killer? Twyla, I had such a bad nightmare. I feel like I was going to die. I'm sorry, I can't keep doing this. I don't want to sneak around anymore. I don't want to lie anymore. I don't want my friends to be mad at me anymore. I just want to go home. You know what, Mary? Fine then. But... go home. Like you ever did shit for me anyway. I was better off on my own. You know what? Go home. Go hang out with your little boyfriend Reginald. And I'll be sure to spit on your grave when that fucker kills you. As I stood there crying, Twyla got into her car. My heart stopped for a second, as if thinking she would run right into me. But no, she didn't. She backed up, turned and drove away, leaving me stranded in the woods. All done. I pulled out my phone, hoping to call someone for help, but I was soaking, my phone was too. But I was able to turn it on. I didn't have much battery left. I used it to call Croven. He didn't pick up. And then my phone died. I tried to start it again, but it was no use. No matter how hard I tried, it wouldn't start. I was stuck. Well, there's only one way home, so I began walking. That sucks. I mean, yeah, all around, we're in just a crappy position, so we're too nice to tell people no. That sucks. That was ooky spooky of the lake. So, the revelation that Twyla knew there was multiple bodies in the lake. Why did we have to keep that a secret? Do we suspect Twyla? What's up with that? I don't know. Sippy coffee. If I remembered correctly, we drove straight here along the path. There are no forks or turns in the road, so as long as I kept walking down this path, I would eventually make it back, right? I was starving. I was so hungry, it was making me sick. I felt as I would topple over and faint, but my aching legs continued to carry me on. As long as I didn't tell them to stop, then they wouldn't. Okay. They brought me all the way back to the city. It was night now. It didn't feel... Oh wait. It didn't feel that long driving there, but walking felt like an eternity. But as if I was being given one blessing today, I caught the last bus home. I say home, even though Croven told me not to come back, but I had nowhere else to go. Being able to rest my feet on the bus felt like heaven, and having to get off the bus to make the rest of the trek back felt like hell. I was so tired, I just wanted to pass out, but I was so close I couldn't give up now, just a bit more, and before I knew it, I was back before the door, and before I could even knock, he answered. Well, maybe answered isn't the right word. He was on his way out. I didn't know where, the last bus just left, but he was heading out somewhere, and he ran into me. Croven, I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you. You were right. You were completely right. Twyla's a monster. I wish I never, ever met her. I'm so sorry, Croven. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'll never doubt you again. He was still, for what felt like forever. I didn't know how he was going to react, but... Aww! I was thankful for the way he did. Alright, come on. You know, I don't like having you cry on me. He patted my back reassuringly. It's not your fault at all. It was me who fucked up. I'm real sorry for yelling at you and all. I just got really worked up. I mean, you know how it is, right? With our families being not around right now. We're all the other has right now, yeah? Just seeing you with someone I can't stand, I'm sorry, Mars. I should have been more chill. Maybe if we spent more time together, you wouldn't have spent so much time with her. Are you still crying? Look, alright, tell you what. I won't go out tonight. We can just stay home and chill out, you and me. Does it make you feel better? It did. Once I had calmed down enough, Croven let me go. I wiped my eyes and made my way over to the kitchen where Croven helped me try to figure out what to have for dinner. We didn't have much in the house currently, but we managed to scrounge something up. And as I ate, Croven sat and talked with me. Just went on and on about what was happening in his life or what his friends had been up to lately. I didn't mind at all. It felt just like before everything. Before Twyla, before my parents, before aunt and uncle. It felt like things were just nice. Different, but nice. Croven? Yeah, Mars? You know I love you, right? Blah, don't get all cheesy on me like that. What? I was just reminding you. Yeah, whatever. Love you too. Aww. After we ate, we hung out for a little while more downstairs, but I think it was apparent we were both pretty tired. So eventually, we retreated to our rooms. I plugged my phone into the charger and waited for it to turn back on. When it did, I considered messaging the mysterious number, but I was way too tired, even if I had been messaging them at late times before. Speaking of the time, it got much later than I thought. Even Croven, who usually stayed up at all night, was snoring away in his room. It seemed to me like he passed out the minute his head hit the pillow. Honestly, I felt like I might do the same, but despite how late it was and how tired I felt, I didn't want to sleep just yet, not without taking a shower first. The lake water that had dried onto my clothes and skin from earlier felt disgusting. And even though I had probably become used to it, I could only imagine I didn't smell pleasant. I opened my drawers, got out a fresh pair of pajamas, was about to make my way to the bathroom shower when I heard a scream. Croven's scream. It sounded like he was yelling in pain. Croven! What happened? I yelled. There was no answer. I rushed to his bedroom, swung the door open, and when... Oh! There stood Twyla, sledgehammer in hand. I had no idea how she got in, or how she found us, but she was here now, standing over Croven, who was clutching his ankle in pain. Did she smash it? Before Croven could even try to fight against her, she dealt a swift blow to his abdomen, and Croven was pushed to the floor in pain. Then she turned around to face me. Good evening, Mary. Twyla, what is all this? You look shocked. Perhaps I was beginning to give you too much credit. You're just as stupid as I thought you were. Why are you here? Please, leave us alone. You said you were done with me. Oh, I am. But I'm not done with him, she said, gesturing at Croven on the floor. Gugh. He sputtered in pain. He clearly wanted to fight back, but Twyla seemed to put him in a position incapable of doing so. He reached a hand out to grab her. Twyla stomped on it. What are you talking about? I don't understand any of this. You know, Mary. You didn't really help me find the butcher. But you did help me find where Croven lives. So I guess I can't be too upset with you after all. And how lucky is it that in a secluded forest where no one can hear him scream? So thanks, I guess. Stop talking like that. Just tell me what's going on. Sure, alright. Only because you helped me so much. It's only fair I tell you in return. I'm a fair person, aren't I? I won't go too deep into it. I don't want to overstay my welcome, but let's just say Croven and I have been enemies for a while. But you already knew that, right? Well, as for things you don't know, you probably don't know Croven as well as you thought you did. Shut up, Croven said from his spot on the floor. You don't need to tell her any of this shit. Oh, but don't I? She asked, after all. Anyway, like I was saying, we went to the lake today, right? And I asked you to talk to the people there for me? I bet you have your own ideas about how those people wound up there, but I guess you never would have thought that your little friend over here was the reason they're there. Croven. Listen, it's... Twyla kicked Croven in the mouth. Don't feel sorry for him. He isn't worth it. After learning the truth about him, I doubt you'll even miss him once he's dead. Dead? Of course. I can't let him keep on living. Do you really want him to live after the heinous things he's been doing? There's a lot more that you don't know. I don't trust you, Twyla. Oh, is that so? It is so. I don't trust you at all. There's gotta be more to it than that. All you ever did was make me feel bad. All the things I did for you made me feel so awful. I trust Croven. I've known him my whole life, and even if he did something bad, I trust that he was a good reason for doing it. Well, if that's how you feel then, you can die with him. Huh? Twyla pulled out a lighter and threw it to the side. Fire began to spread almost immediately. I know you've modified it a bit, but this place is still mostly wood, correct? You should have no trouble burning to the ground in a few minutes. Are you insane? My best guess is if you want to get out alive, you'll have to leave him behind. But you'd never do that, right? I guess we'll see. So what the hell? I mean, I know we got bad vibes from her on and off throughout, but like, what the hell? That feels like a strong departure. Twyla ran right out the door, shoving me aside in the process. I barely had time to collect my thoughts. I barely had the time to focus on anything other than getting out of here. The Twyla I saw tonight was much different from the Twyla I thought I knew. But there's one thing we agreed on now. And so I would never leave Croven behind like this. I ran over to Croven and helped get him to his feet. Even though you should stay low in fires, I didn't think it would have been able to help him otherwise. Croven, I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. If I had just Shut up. He coughed out as he accepted my help. We're not going to worry about that right now. We need to get out of here. Then I can focus. I'll fucking kill that bitch, Twyla. Okay. Picked up Croven up off the floor and wrapped his arm around my shoulders. We shuffled out the door of his bedroom. The fire had already spread out here, but luckily there was an open path to the stairs. I helped him down them one more time. I could feel the stairs begin to fall victim to the heat. They felt like straw under our feet. And thankfully, we had made it to the bottom with no issues. We were so close. All we had to do was get to the front door, but that proved itself problematic. Try as we might, the door wasn't opening a budge. I couldn't even get the handle to turn. "Fuck you!" Croven cried in frustration. "That fucking son of a bitch is gonna... I'm gonna kill her, I swear to God." I tried to remain calm. The back door. We can make it to the back door. It'll be okay. Let's go. Croven also attempted to calm himself, though it seemed to be proving more difficult with each second that passed. Yeah, he has like a shattered ankle, probably some broken ribs and some splooshed guts, and a stomped hand and a kicked mouth. Like, I don't blame him for having a hard time calming down while fleeing a fire, you know? We started walking again, but with Croven's injuries, we were slow. And the fire wasn't patient with us. It spread and it spread as we sludged our way across the living room. I could hear things fall from upstairs. The house was breaking apart. The thuds of heavy objects falling inside made me jump as they became louder. "This isn't going to work, Mars," Croven coughed at me. "Drop me. I'll get out. But you can't stay here." "What? No, we're going to get out." "Don't talk like that." I'm slowing down. "I don't care. We can still make it." Eventually we made it to the kitchen. But those loud thuds I heard, I didn't know what... I didn't know they made their way downstairs. Piles of flaming wood covered the doorway. There was no way out. Except for a small hole exposed by one of the fallen logs of the house. Yikes. Like, was there not any windows to jump through? But even calling it a small was being generous. It was tiny. I'm a small girl, so I could probably fit through it, but... Go through. What? "Get out of here, Mary. You have to." Wait, let me help you through it first. "Mary." Croven grabbed himself in pain, breathing heavy. We both know I'm not going to fit through that. "Yes, we can. I know we can." "Stop it. The more we argue about it, the less time we have. If you keep fighting it, I'll get covered up." "What?" It'll just get covered up more. So leave. Now." I can't. You said it yourself. We're all the other has. I can't leave you behind. "Mary, what did I just say? Go." I felt the air escape from me as Croven pushed me out the hole. He pushed me hard and I rolled back into the grass next to the cabin. "Croven!" I yelled as I got up quickly as I could, but I wasn't fast enough. The entire area where the kitchen was, it collapsed into flame. I saw it happen before my own eyes. I felt my knees give way under me. "Oh, Mary. This can't be real, can it? This is just another bad dream, and I'll wake up? I have to wake up, because he can't, this, oh please, let it be a dream. I can't possibly, without him, it's all my fault. It's all my fault. If I had listened to him, if I had never agreed to, if I trusted him instead of... Are you crying over him? It's not like he deserves it, but I can understand why you'd be upset. It's okay, Mary. I won't do to you what I did to him. I think you'd be able to help me again. I know it didn't work out how we intended the first time, but I have a feeling you'll get us somewhere. I mean, look where you brought us this time. It wasn't expected, but a nice surprise nonetheless. Still crying? Don't worry. We'll take good care of you. I don't like the sound of that. And that's a lot of ellipses. That was a while ago. I don't know exactly how long, nor do I think I could be capable in saying how long. I don't like to think about that day. If you're wondering how my life has been since then, it's mostly the same. I'm just much more miserable now. Like before, I do what Twyla tells me to. Only this time, I don't have a choice. I'm too afraid of what she'll do if I don't. I haven't told anyone about what happened either. Again, I'm too afraid. It's exhausting, living like this, but I have no other choice. The mysterious number that had been messaging me stopped ever since that night. And as for my parents, they never returned. So I'm stuck with Twyla until I don't even know how long. Forever, as far as I can tell. I do have some time to myself, though. Like right now, I'm on my way to spend... and I'm on my way to spend it the way I always do. When I get off the bus, I'm back on the path to where the old cabin was. The grass and leaves crunch under my feet. The dirt is the same as it had always been. And as I approach the cabin, I can already feel my eyes begin to well with tears. It's a sorry state, burned into nothing but a black, ashy mess of debris and old memories. No one has cleaned it up, and I don't know if anyone ever will. And I know he is still in there. It's his grave now, so make sure to pay respects when given the time. I try to see him too. I try so hard to see him. All the ghosts still talk to me the way they do before. I walk to the back porch of the house, or rather, where it should be. I kneel down and rest my head atop the burnt wood. I close my eyes and try to rest. I want to fall asleep, and I hope that when I do, he'll be there waiting for me like everyone else had been. He never is. Bad end. Ashes, ashes, we all fall. Wow. Congratulations, you just completed a route of Cemetery Mary. Thank you for playing, but do you think you can get the true ending if you try again? Wow. Wow, okay, so I'm not jumping back in just yet. There's some other spooks I want to do for Ookie Spooky season. If you guys want, I might revisit this and try and get different endings, because I enjoyed this a lot. I was thrown for a loop by Twyla. I suspected her a couple times, but then like that was dissuade. I don't know. A shoot. I don't know. I don't know what the word is I want to use here. I didn't really suspect her when to go as crazy as she did. That was wild. That was a wild, wild twist I wasn't ready for. But recap, I enjoyed this game tremendously. I love the art style through and through. There's a couple times, more than a couple times, where I got tripped up when trying to read and narrate, because it's written in such a conversational way that my brain doesn't do, that I don't speak in. So there's some rough transitions there, but that's not the fault of the game. It's the fault of me being a dummy dum-dum. I love that it was conversational, like how conversational it was and how it broke up words that are words that are words that are words. I enjoyed this game. I enjoyed this game. If you want me to continue, for the channel, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much, my friends, for hanging out with me, and I do hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.